Welcome back to JMM Expert Insights, and thank you for joining us. Today we're speaking with Justin Olde, CEO and Managing Director of Boresight Limited, ASX code BST. Boresight is an Australian defence company specialising in aerial target drones for counter-drone training and testing. The company has recently listed on the ASX following a successful IPO. Justin, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Abbey.
And now, Justin, to begin, for investors who may be new to the company, could you give us a simple overview of what Boresight does?
Yeah, certainly. So Boresight was founded about 5 years ago with the intent to make low-cost drones for the counter-drone industry. So most of your audience will be familiar with companies like Drone Shield and EOS. Those guys are very good at destroying drones or bringing drones down. They need something to train and test against. And that's what Boresight does. We build the drones that companies like EOS, Drone Shield, and a bunch of other companies train and test against.
And now turning to the broader market, drones are playing an increasingly prominent role in modern warfare. Why is training against realistic aerial threats becoming so important for defence forces? And how does Boresight help meet that need?
So training against that threat is essential. We've all seen the videos from Ukraine and other parts of the world where drones are creating a real challenge for land forces and other forces. And learning how to defeat that threat is really important. It's not easy. Drones are not easy to kill. They're not an easy threat to mitigate. And therefore, a realistic training tool is essential to making sure that your forces are actually well equipped and well trained at countering the drone threat. Boresight's well positioned to grab that market because we are making these low cost, simple to use, and very accurate flying drones. And we also have a control system that supports that testing and training environment. So you don't have to have one person controlling each drone. We can control 20 drones simultaneously, and that number is increasing over time. So that's the drone threat. It's essential that we get good at countering the drone threat, and Boresight provides a really cost-effective mechanism for doing that.
And one of the key distinctions in Boresight's offering is that the products are designed specifically for military training. How does Boresight's target drones differ from the hobbyist drones that can be purchased online?
Yeah, so the first thing is we have a trusted product. A lot of the hobbyist drones out there come from countries where you might be concerned about the cyber security of the electronics inside. We use Australian-made electronics, and we use radios either sourced in Australia or Canada. So we've removed that problem, and that's a big plus for a lot of our military customers. Cybersecurity is a big concern for them. The second thing that makes us different from a hobby drone is we have a control system that is designed to be easy to use and very repeatable. You don't need to be an expert drone pilot to create very consistent, repeatable scenarios using Boresight drones, and you can do that with multiple drones simultaneously. That, once again, is really important to the military because they want to see if their training is progressing or to be able to compare different types of equipment. So they need exactly the same routine flow on time and time again. And the Boresight system allows them to do that. Our drones and our control system are designed specifically for that military training and testing environment.
And now Boresight has also spoken about expanding its product range to include first-person view, fixed-wing target drones and intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance drones. How does broadening the product suite strengthen the company's position with existing and prospective customers?
The thing that Boresight does that's really different to most other drone companies in the Western Hemisphere, not just Australia, is we're built around a really cost-effective design and manufacturing process. We can make our drones very quickly, very low cost, and that means that we can branch out into these other areas and provide that cost-effective product. There are hundreds of drone companies in the world, dozens in Australia. There are very few drone companies that are focused on this highly cost-effective end of the market and the ability to make drones at scale and still make money out of it. And that's really where Boresight's edge is.
And now, Justin, bringing that all back to the investment case, for investors looking at Boresight following its ASX listing, what are 3 main reasons they should have the company on their radar?
Well, I'm going to use a real estate analogy here, and I'm going to say scale, scale, scale. Boresight is at the very front edge of a very fast-growing industry, and so the advantage that Boresight has, and what we can do, is we can grow. The scope for growth in Boresight's product range and even just the target market is huge. At the moment, most Western militaries haven't even introduced counter-drone systems into service. So they haven't even started their process of regular training at individual and collective level. And we've predicted that training is going to consume tens of thousands of drones a year just in Australia alone. So if you expand that across the US markets, the European markets, Southeast Asia, Middle East, there is a huge growth opportunity here. And there is a huge growth opportunity in just the cost-effective drone space. And as I mentioned before, there's not very many companies playing in that cost-effective space, and even less in the Western Hemisphere. So it's scale and growth and the ability to tap in at the front end of a company that's going to go to huge spaces.
And Justin, thank you so much for joining us on JMM Expert Insights. There's definitely a lot in the pipeline for the company, and congratulations again on Boresight's successful ASX listing.
Thanks very much.